Hi everybody. The wonderful Canadian vocalist KD Lang is another person who performs regularly barefoot. I actually found two differing reasons for this, so it's possibly one or the other or a combination of the both. But firstly, she was tired of the plastic Payless boots that she was wearing in respect for her vegan beliefs. I believe Payless is a cheap shop, like a $2 shop. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. And the other reason is that she saw vocalist Anne Murray singing regularly barefoot and loved Anne Murray, so did it as well. This performance, by request, is of her song Season of Hollow Soul. And this was from her 1992 studio album, her second album, Ingenue. It was track 7. And this album was actually included in a book called 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. The song was written by KD Lang and Ben Mink and is performed at the Landmarks Live PBS concert in 2018. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to find out who the instrumentalists are when they're not credited anywhere, and I've searched many videos to see of KD Lang's to see if I could see who they are. I know David Pilch is on bass and he played on her Ingenue album. But it would be good to see the musicians credited. KD Lang actually does regularly recognise and acknowledge her musicians, and apparently in this concert she did. But I wasn't able to find that part of the concert posted anywhere, either on PBS's webpage or on YouTube anywhere, so I don't actually know. But let's hear it anyway.
When I was writing Ingenue, I was living in Vancouver, British Columbia. And every day I would walk in this beautiful park off of downtown called Stanley Park. It is beautiful. Searching for the muse, hoping that I might get a little help writing these lyrics. And every day I would pass this huge fallen cedar tree that had been there for some time. And straddling its carcass were these two verdant, beautiful young cedar trees, feeding off the nutrients of impermanence. Keen to the shifting wind, I bend to it blind, to read these kisses of sin that must stay behind. Sour the fruit of neglect, the core of my doubt. Deprived are my veins, you infect. With or without, fate must have a reason. Why else endure the season of hollow soul? The ground on which we leave on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul. Seeds of uprooted chance or grains of goodbye. Waving boughs so slowly dance, questioning why. Fate must have a reason. Why else endure the season of hollow soul? The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul. Hollow soul. Fate must have a reason. Why else endure the season of hollow soul? La 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 la. The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul.
Wow. Oh, what a brilliant performance on Katie Lang's voice. She has this really sultry tone that makes you feel like you're just drifting. As I've said in a previous video, I'm pretty sure it was the last one on Katie Lang, you feel like you're on a cloud just floating with her vocals. And the band is absolutely brilliant in this too, and I'll come to that a little later. But I would like to point out some of the aspects I really love about Katie's performance with this. And this is many years later. She's given a very different performance than she recorded on the album Ingenue, but equally as brilliant. And it's like a new gift to the listener. Firstly, I want to highlight some of her phrasing. I love the way she phrases. Have a listen to this.
Like the core of my doubt, deprived are my veins, you infect, with or without. Fate must have a reason. Why else endure the season of hollow soul? The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul.
Brilliant. Phrasing is sort of where you start the phrase and how you deliver it, and then how you end the phrase. So you can start on any beat, depending on, of course, it has to be in time, but you can stretch the timing a bit. But it's where you start. So sort of which beat you start on, or which half beat, or which note. And the same as where you end it, but it's how you deliver the whole phrase as well. So it's so sensitive the way she delivers her phrasing. And I'd like to play that segment again.
Core of my doubt, deprived are my veins, you infect, with or without.
So for example there, with or without, you could sing it with or without, or you could go with or without, or with or without. So there's so many different ways you can interpret the line and phrase it. But it's the way KD does this that is so brilliant. And that's the same whether you're interpreting someone else's song or whether you're delivering your own song, which is the case here, or even interpreting your own song. You may interpret it differently from one performance to another. Have another listen. I'll let it play a bit longer this time.
Sour the fruit of neglect, the core of my doubt, deprived are my veins, you infect, with or without. Fate must have a reason. Why else endure the season of hollow soul? The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul, of hollow soul.
Beautiful. Let's hear another example here.
Seeds of uprooted chance are grains of goodbye, waving boughs so slowly dance, questioning why. Fate must have a reason. Why else endure the season of hollow soul?
Okay, right? Brilliant phrasing. Let's hear all of that again.
Seeds of uprooted chance are grains of goodbye, waving boughs so slowly dance, questioning why. Fate must have a reason. Why else endure the season of hollow soul? The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul, hollow soul.
Yes, and the way she holds that last bit back, hollow soul. And that's phrasing. Where you come in, where you push and pull with the timing a bit. Let's hear some of her beautifully controlled vibrato as well. Let's start with this example.
The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul.
There. Beautiful. Let's hear it again.
The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul.
Beautiful. And let's hear another example from this point.
Strangely fuels the season of hollow soul. Of hollow soul.
There too. Beautiful. Go again.
On which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul. Of hollow soul.
And that little crack in a voice at the end on that last soul was beautiful. Brilliant. She uses slides quite a lot in her style, and that helps have that really flowing honey-like sound that she gets. Here's an example.
Keen to the shifting wind, I bend to it blind, to read these kisses of sin that must stay behind. Sour the fruit of neglect, the core of my
There.
doubt.
There are a couple of other smaller ones in there, but you get the idea. It's such a lovely touch. I love it.
Keen to the shifting wind, I bend to it blind, to read these kisses of sin that must stay behind. Sour the fruit of neglect, the core of my doubt.
It's a lovely stylistic touch that she puts in. I love it. Now, let's have a listen to her beautiful mid-range. I particularly love her mid-range. And let's hear an example from this point.
Answer grace of goodbye, waving boughs so slowly dance, questioning why. Fate must have a reason, why else endure the season of hollow soul.
Lovely, isn't it? Go again.
Seeds of uprooted chance or grains of goodbye, waving boughs so slowly dance, questioning why. Fate must have a reason, why else endure the season of hollow soul. The ground.
Yes, excellent. Now, let's go to this point because just the emotion in her voice is so beautiful.
The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul.
I love it. Wow. Let's go again.
The ground on which we live on, how
another point. Here.
Leave on how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul, of hollow soul.
Very emotive. Brilliant.
Fuels the season of hollow soul, of hollow soul.
Next, I love the way she ornamented hollow, the ha around the word, the syllable hot in hollow. Have a listen to that again.
Of hollow soul,
And again.
of hollow soul.
Beautiful. And she also ornaments the word soul at this point. Have a listen.
Ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul.
Of hollow soul. The way she ornaments soul is beautifully done. Absolutely love it.
Ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul. Hollow soul.
Oh, and that lovely vibrato at the end there. Let's go now to have a listen to her variation in dynamic level that really adds colour to the song as well and to the vocal performance.
Seeds of uprooted chance or grains of goodbye,
Softer there on that last word.
waving boughs so slowly dance,
Softer there on dance.
questioning why.
See, that dynamic variation really makes it interesting. Every note isn't the same loudness or the same softness. It varies. When they need to match, she matches them though. Dynamic wise.
Seeds of uprooted chance or grains of goodbye, waving boughs so slowly dance, questioning why. Fate must have a reason, why else endure the season of hollow soul.
Yes, good variation. And another example.
Fate must have a reason,
Moderately loud
why
volume.
else endure the season of hollow soul. La 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 la.
It just grooves so well as well, doesn't it? Let's hear another example of her dynamic variation.
Else endure the season of hollow soul. The ground on which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul. Hollow soul.
And the way she decrescendoed at the end there for variation.
On which we live on, how strangely fuels the season of hollow soul. Hollow soul.
What a beautiful voice, and what an absolutely brilliant performance from KD Lang. As I said, the band are doing an absolutely brilliant job as well. And there's very good interaction between the piano and the other instruments. So the bass player, brilliant. The drummer as well, there's interaction there. Let's go to the piano solo and have a bit of a listen here, and I'll talk about that. I just wish I knew who it was on piano. So far, you can see his use of space in his solo is so well planned out and so thoughtful. Using space, or rests in other words, or silence, in terms of what he's playing in his right hand in the solo, is really important because music is made up of notes and rests, basically. And if you played all notes, well, it's like somebody speaking. You need to have pauses, slow down, speed up as well, but have the pauses which act like rests do in music. It's like talking, it's like speaking, it's like singing, only this is within the notes of music or in your fingers. So I feel he's got quite a Bill Evans-esque influence here, similar to Bill Evans' sort of sound. I'll let it play on and I'll talk a bit more. The motivic development he's using too. So he's using like a little melody, then repeats it, or a rhythmic element, then repeats it in another key, then in another key, or plays a little melody and then repeats it in another key, or it can be slightly transformed. But that's motivic development, taking a little idea and then developing it, playing it in other keys, and then extending it so it's developed. His playing is very coloristic. There's some beautiful passing chords in that. Some high tension voicings that he's using. He was using two-handed comping at one point there, which I absolutely loved as well. Have a listen to this point. I'll let it play to the end. Quite rhythmic there. Motivic. Drum interaction there. Nice colours. Okay, beautiful. Let's go back to this point in it. And I love the way there's interaction with the bass as well. There. It's rhythmic. So you can hear the pianist is going ba 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 ba, quite syncopated there, and you can hear the bass going ba 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 ba. He's changing the note or something like that, and having that interaction. And on the drums, you can hear. I'm pretty sure it's the cymbal. I can hear there going ting 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 as well. Interaction between the players is very important in jazz. Brilliantly done here. Let me just go back and play that little bit. element. Bass player interaction, drum interaction. Okay, so you get the idea. Brilliant. Excellent, excellent musicians. And fantastic performance from KD Lang, as I said before as well. I absolutely loved that. I hope you enjoyed the reaction, and hopefully you come back again and view some more of my reactions. Keep the suggestions coming, please, people. See you next time.